Hello everybody and welcome to another episode. In today's episode I'm going to show you how to do a full service interval on any 2.0 TDI engine. So today I'm working on this Audi A4 B8 from the year 2010 and I'll have to do a full service interval, and because of that I decided, guys, to show you all how to do it on your car, or if you have a similar engine. Even if you work on a 1.6 TDI engine, it's exactly the same like a 2.0 TDI engine, so the only difference will be in the size of the engine, but in the rest of that everything will be exactly the same. As you can see right here I have the new filters which I'm going to put in the car, and the oil which I'm going to use for this car is Castrol 5W30 Long Life. Alright everybody, with all of these things being said, it's time for me to go ahead and show you all how to do a full service interval on any Audi A4 B8 with the engine 2.0 TDI common rail. So the first thing which you have to do is to go underneath the car, and right here normally you'll have under shield which you'll have to remove, and only after remove this shield you'll have access to the drain plug and to the oil pan. And right here, as you can see, this is our drain plug bolt, and you'll have to remove this one using a 19mm socket. Also, be prepared to have something to catch the oil because you don't want to split any oil on the ground. Okay everybody, so while I'm waiting for the oil to completely drain from the engine, this is our oil filter which you have to remove using a 32mm socket, and then right here in the left side this is our air filter. To remove the air filter you'll have to remove this big hose in the beginning, and after that you'll have to remove all of the little screws from around this air filter box. And after that you'll have to remove this air filter, you'll have to lift it up, and inside it you'll find the air filter which you'll have to replace on this car. Also, the pollen filter is located on the passenger side underneath the dashboard, but I will show you later how to remove it and how to replace it on the passenger side. Right here, as you can see, this is our oil filter, and you have to pull it from the oil filter cap, and it will come out like it did in my case. And after that, what you have to do is to remove this old O-ring. You'll have to use something sharp to put it underneath and pull the little O-ring back from the oil filter cap, and then you'll have to clean the oil filter cap very good, and after that you'll have to install the new O-ring which is coming in the box with the new oil filter for this car. I recommend all to clean the oil filter cap with some brake cleaner because it will remove all of the oil and all the dirt, and it will look great. So as you can see, this is where we'll have to install the new O-ring over the oil filter cap, and the new O-ring, like I told you earlier, will come in the box with the new oil filter. So after you're done with installing the oil filter and the new O-rings into the oil filter cap, I recommend all to take some new oil which you're going to put into the car and lubricate the O-rings very good, because if you lubricate them, it will make them slide easier into the engine and the risk of breaking them or chipping them while you are tightening the oil filter cap will be very small. From here, all you have to do is to go ahead and put it back into the engine. You'll have to tighten it to 25 Nm, and if you don't have a dynamometric key, I recommend you all to only tighten it by hand and until you will feel a little bit of resistance, and that's it. Alright everybody, so we are done with installing the new oil filter back into the engine, and now it's time for us to replace the air filter on this car. From here, just follow what I'm doing. You'll have to follow the exact same steps and you'll be good to go on your car. Alright everybody, I'm done with installing the new air filter back into the air filter box, and from here I will have to go ahead and install the new drain plug bolt into the oil pan. As you can see, right here I have the old drain plug bolt, and right here I have the new one specially made for this car. Also, the spec to tighten this bolt on the oil pan, it's 13 Nm. As you can see, I have this special program which is telling me how much to tighten every bolt on the car. And as you can see, sample drain bolt, it's showing me to tighten it to 30 Nm. Okay everybody, now with the drain plug bolt correctly tightened to spec, it's time for me to go ahead and show you all how to replace the fuel filter on this car. So the fuel filter on this car is located right here on the left side, on the passenger side, for example, for European cars. And as you can see, you'll have this huge plastic panel, which you'll have to remove completely out from the vehicle. You'll have to remove all of these screws and the plastic clips, which is securing it mounted to the car. And after that, you'll have access to the fuel filter, which you'll have to remove and replace it with a new one. Alright everybody, now that I removed all the plastics from underneath the car, I have enough access to remove the fuel filter on this car. And the fuel filter on this car, it's this one, the first one, as you can see right here, because you have two of them normally, but one of them is the fuel filter pump, is the fuel pump, and the other one is the fuel filter, which you'll have to replace on this car. From here, we have to remove this metal bracket, which is securing everything mounted to the car. And this one, the first one from the right, is the fuel pump, and this one from the left, it's our fuel filter. And as you can see, right here I have this new one, and make sure the orientation of the arrow should be pointed towards the engine. So always install the fuel filter with the arrow pointed towards the engine, because in this way the fuel will flow correctly inside it and it will work perfectly. Otherwise, if you put it with the arrow towards the back of the car, it will not work and the car will not start. So just take that in mind. You'll have to put the new fuel filter with the arrow facing the top part or facing the engine. Okay everybody, I'm done with replacing the fuel filter on this car. I installed everything as it was before, and from here I will not put the plastic shield from underneath the car just yet because I want to start the car and I want to check for any leaks, and only after that I'll have to go ahead and install everything as it was in the beginning of this video. And as you can see right here, this is the pollen filter. If you want to replace the pollen filter on this car, you'll have to go on the passenger side, and as you can see you'll have this rubber piece, this sponge piece, which is securing normally in two plastic screws, but on this car from what I can see the screws are missing. And after that we have to remove this plastic bracket and the pollen filter will come out from the car like so. From here we have to remove this old one and install a new one and put everything back together as it was before. As you can see, this is how to replace the pollen filter on this car, and from here all I have to do next is to go ahead and put the new oil back into the engine. Right here, as you can see, I have the brand new oil which I'm going to put into the engine, and this engine will take 5 liters of brand new oil to reach the oil maximum capacity. I recommend you all to buy Castrol Edge 5W30 long life if you want to maintain your engine and if you want to drive a lot of kilometers with your car. In my opinion, Castrol is the best oil out there, but also another manufacturer which is very good, it's Ravenol and Liqui Moly, but you feel free to try different manufacturers and see for yourself which one is best for you and which one is working the best with your kind of engine. Okay everybody, so I'm almost done with the fuel service interval on this car, and the only thing which I have to do next is to turn on the auxiliary fuel pump on this car, because I replaced the fuel filter, the fuel is no longer into the engine, and I have to turn on the fuel pump to push it back into the engine and to help the car start very easy. So as you can see, in my case I'm using this OBD2 scanner. I'm going to plug it into the OBD port and I'm going to turn on the ignition. After that you'll have to connect it to your phone, you'll have to connect to the vehicle, and after that you'll have to select the function auxiliary fuel pump turn on, something like that. I will show you in a second what you have to do. The scanner which I'm using right here, it's called Carista, and you have to pay a monthly subscription if you want to use it on your car. This scanner is working for almost any car out there, and you can do a lot of functions. You can erase errors, you can customize your car, you can also do some special functions like I'm doing right here to turn on the fuel pump on this car. You'll have to click, for example, on this service like I'm doing right here on the service icon, and after that it will open a new menu and it will show you different service menus and service options which you can do for your car. And for example, just look right here on the screen, I'll have to go down and I'll have to check on the fuel system prime, and as you can see I have to click on start and just listen how the fuel pump is pushing fuel back into the engine. Also, right now is the best moment to go underneath the car and check for any leaks from the new fuel filter which you already installed into the car. right here. All I have to do next is to wait until the fuel system prime is complete, and also after the system prime is complete, it will make the little flashing error from the dashboard disappear. And also from here, what we have to do next is to go ahead and reset the service interval, also using this scanner. And as you can see, the fuel system prime is a success. From here, I'll have to go back and also reset the service interval on this car. Alright everybody, I'm done with resetting all the service intervals on this car. I'm also done with priming the fuel pump on this car, and from here all I have to do next is to go ahead and start the car for the first time in this service interval. As also, the engine started very good, and this is because I used this scanner to prime the fuel pump. Because if you don't prime the fuel pump, the engine will struggle to start, it will push, it will rotate a lot of times, and it will not start very easy, and in this way it will create a lot of wear on the fuel pump, and it will create more problems in the future. So always prime the fuel pump, and only after that the engine will start very good after you replace the fuel filter. Thank you all for watching. This is how to do a full service interval on any Audi A4, V8 with the engine 2.0 TDI common rail. If you like this video and found it informative, please leave a like and a comment down below. See you next time.